Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to wish Mark a safe journey back to Oz. I realise it's something like nearly a 2-day flight due to the time difference that you're going to have to arrive in Sydney on something like Thursday morning, having left today. But anyway, that's the nature of the beast, I suppose. And certainly looking forward to hopefully the three of us getting together for the rally down in up in Manitowoc in June. That will be brilliant to see everybody there. Now I've made a few notes here. First of all, the reason I call Eric Ose the dude is a term of affection, and it's from the film The Big Lebowski. Now I appreciate that there's probably quite a few people out there that haven't actually watched The Big Lebowski. It's a Coen Brothers film, but it's very much a bloke's film or a guy's film. You know, there's not many. There's not a lot of scenes with ladies in it, other than some featuring Maud Lebowski and even fewer with Bunny Lebowski. So the main story is about the dude, and he actually lives in California, which of course is where our dude lives, somewhere in California. We don't exactly know. We haven't been able to pinpoint exactly where Crunch Island is, but that's where our dude lives. And at the end of the film, the dude, who's called Jeff Lebowski, confronts the other Lebowski, the big Lebowski, the big Jeffrey Lebowski, and accuses him, quite rightly, of embezzling $1 million from his own foundation, the Jeff Lebowski Little Urban Achievers Foundation. He embezzles $1 million from that foundation in order to perpetuate his luxurious lifestyle. And when the dude confronts him with this, he says, you just used me because I was like a worthless sap, somebody that you could pin it on. And Jeffrey Lebowski retaliates, says, well, yes, and you are, aren't you? You are just a worthless so-and-so. And the dude says, well, yeah, but, you know, there was no need to do that to me. Anyway. What we often find with the so-called guilters is they deride truthers by pointing out that for there to be a conspiracy theory that Steven Avery and Brendan Dassey was framed, that all of Calumet, all of Manitowoc, the Department of Justice, they would all have to be in on it. It would have to be a huge conspiracy. Well, for one thing, I've never entertained that thought at all. And one of the things they say is, well, if there was this huge conspiracy, they wouldn't be able to perpetuate. It would start to fall apart. Well, is that not exactly what is happening? The whole case is slowly but surely falling apart. That is exactly what is happening, because it is a huge, well, not a huge conspiracy. It's huge in the sense that it's very bad what they've done, but not huge as in the people involved, I don't believe. I put the question to Eric Ose last night and one or two others, including Stacey, that basically I was quite happy, now that we're finding out more and more about the investigation, that there were some honest investigators in all of this that did do the proper work of an honest investigator. That they did actually, some of them conduct an honest investigation. This is why so much stuff is starting to, why the case is starting to fall apart. Now, I'm always reminded that on the same day as Brendan's confession, March 1st confession, 11 years later, I got an email, a reply from Mark Wiegert, in which he stated that he was 100% sure of their guilt and stands behind everything done in the case. And for me, it seems, and I'll put it out there for other people to come back and please comment, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems very much to me as if this comment by Dean Strang that we hear in Making a Murderer, that people don't go out to deliberately frame an innocent man. They go out to help convict somebody they think is guilty. And I think, are we not beginning to see the layers of this corruption, of this conspiracy against Steven Avery? Remember, the Manitrock Sheriff's Department, run by Kenneth Peterson, who was also head of the assassinations unit. Remember, it would be easier to kill Steve than to frame him. Clearly, that conversation took place. Clearly, there were conversations within Manitrock Sheriff's Department. What are we going to do about Steven Avery? They had 1 year to plan it, to plan what they were going to do in order to get rid of Steven Avery's civil suit, because it was first started, I believe, around about the September of 2004, a year after he'd been released. And then, of course, Teresa conveniently disappears 2 weeks before Kasurik and Vogel are going to have to face the music. And it seems to me as if very much that possibly Wiegert and Fassbender, at the very start of the investigation, they did come to it as if, let's do a proper investigation. But because they were so sure that it was Stephen Brendan, that they were quite happy to not only bend the truth, obviously supervised by Ken Kratz. Yeah, and another thing we get told is, you know, why would people involved in CASO, in Calumet, why would they be so keen to frame Steven Avery? Well, as I say, they don't deliberately go out to frame somebody who they think is innocent, but they were so convinced that he was guilty. And who did they have to pin it on? The unfortunate sap, Steven Avery. Let's pin it on him. Let's make sure that he's the one that gets blamed for Teresa's disappearance. Anyway, please, as always, send in your opinions in the comment section, and we look forward to hearing more from Eric Jose. Hopefully he will do his little checklist, make sure he's got his big bottle of Dr. Pepper nearby, that he's got his headphones on, and this time he remembers to switch his mic on. I don't think he will ever live that one down. Bye for now.